Good morning. What another beautiful day. Let me just refresh my computer. Doesn't want to play ball. That's better. Okay, so I will give people a chance to join me and to share in my make for my special friend and her special birthday. So I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. The little green light does come on occasionally. If someone could give me some thumbs up, that would be absolutely fabulous. I think I might have come on a bit before past, but morning, Lynn. Excellent, thank you so much, that's fabulous. Oh, lots of messages coming up. Good evening, Wendy, lovely to have your company. Hi, Philippa, thank you, love, that's brilliant. Okay, so yes, I have a special friend who has a special birthday, and I thought I'm going to make her a special card, so I thought I would share with you what I made. So, and I'm going to remake it. I might not put the number on it because I might use it for somebody else. The new one, I mean, obviously. Anyway, let me flip the camera and I'll show you what I've done. Bear with me. I hope you have all been enjoying this gorgeous sunshine. I cannot believe it. I looked for the weather for the weekend. I'm not going to tell you what it's showing. Unbelievable, but it is a bank holiday, so I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, should I? Oh dear. Okay, I'm just letting my computer catch up with me because I might need to adjust my camera a little bit. Yeah, I think I do. Bear with me. Let me just move it up a little bit. I think that might be better. Good morning, everybody who's joined us in between. Morning, Tracy. Morning, Joe. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Sue. Hi, Ruth. Lovely to have all your company. Okay. Right, well, I'm going to leave it where it is. So this is my special card for my special friend. I don't think she's watching because we were planning to meet up this week and she couldn't do today. So I'm hoping that she won't be watching. But if she does, then she'll know what she's getting. Morning, Jax. I used the beautiful metallic ink pads to paint with. Oh my goodness. And I used them with my favourite platinum embossing powder. But it is just so pretty. So pretty. And I used my big stamp, but just used part of it. I'd seen a really lovely card that opened up, that had the card and then a message inside. I have left the ones inside plain. I can't make my mind up whether to colour them or not, so I might colour them later, who knows. But yes, so the card comes down. I have splattered it as well with some of the metallic ink pad because I got sent a beautiful splatter brush. Oh, it's lovely. Gives me real nice little splatters, so thank you, Jenny. And I did that inside as well, so you just got some. I picked out the pink just to pick one colour. The card that I actually saw done like this, the lady, it was little flowers and some leaves, and the lady had actually just coloured the flowers and hadn't coloured the leaves. And it did look really lovely, and I was going to do the same thing, and it was just like, oh, I love colouring. And I got carried away with my painting. And it was brilliant because I'd watched Jamie's video about mixing the colours and hadn't thought about that. So I've mixed some yellow and pink together, or yellow and red, and I made the orange. I mixed the pink in with some lilac and made a different colour as well. So they're really lovely to do that and to combine and make different colours. And I didn't use the green, I used the yellow and the blue to make my green. So if you don't have all the colours, you are able to do things like that. And I just think, yeah, I just thought it looked really lovely. And I do love platinum embossing. I'd forgotten. I just recently got a new pot of it and it was like, it's just such a pretty colour. It really is. And I think it depends what colours you use with it as to what colours it sort of takes on, if you like. I wish I could work out a way for that to stay shut, but I can't. But it would obviously be in the envelope. So my friend would open it up and see it. So yes. So I did use Hazel's Media Artist card, is that right? I used Hazel's card. That's really good for watercolouring. And I have changed the colours slightly. I was going to concentrate on pink, blue and purple for this one, just to give a different look and to see what happens. Yes, do catch up. If you bought the inks, I've got them all upside down. If you did buy the inks, definitely take some time and go and watch Jamie's videos, because I learnt so much from them in such a short space of time. And I know Hazel did a video the other day. I still haven't managed to catch up, but I did see that she'd made little spritz bottles with the colours in, and so you can create beautiful backgrounds with those, and they are so shimmery and so pretty. And it works so well with the embossing. Like, there is nothing, the ink hasn't taken over the embossing, it hasn't covered it up at all. But I would highly recommend, just even if you're crafting, put it on in the background and you will pick things up and learn things. I found them very, very useful to watch. And I think there's a second one that must have the spritzers in, so I'm going to watch that as well. Anyway, so I've done one bit so that I don't have to, you don't have to sit and watch me colour both bits. So I stamped that out on a piece of the card, heat embossed it, cut it out and painted it. And then I used a piece of A4, which I cut down to a 6x6 card. So I need my big guillotine for this, bear with me. I thought I would show you because I went to do it and then I thought it's not really good, because it's much better to show how I actually did it. So I know that this bit of tape marks where my 14.8 is on my guillotine, because it's right in the middle. So I can cut this piece off. This I can obviously keep and use for sentiments and things like that. And then I can score my piece of card, and I just need to score it in half. And I need a piece for the inside, don't I? I didn't do that bit. Oh, that was silly. Might as well cut all our bits all together. So first of all, I'm going to score this, and then I'll bring the bit. So I'm making my actual card at the moment. Now, I'm fairly certain I learned that this isn't quite 30. Yes, it is. It's about 28. So it needs to be a little bit under 15. So if I pull that away from the edge ever so slightly, I think that's the right way. We'll find out. Otherwise I have to cut myself another piece of card. But I've pulled it away from the edge ever so slightly at this end. And now when I fold this in half, it should be it's a much better match. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I've got a nasty mark on my... Can't have that, can we? That's better. Okay, so I've got my card. So that's my card for the actual card piece. And then you place these pieces to the back of the inside of your card. And then you have this panel that sits over the top. So I cut that to the exact size. Now you could cut it slightly smaller if you wanted, but I did actually cut mine to be exactly the right size. So bear with. Pop that away. Bring my guillotine back in. And I have a piece of card that I'm going to cut down I will cut it ever so slightly. It does need to be ever so slightly smaller because it needs to be able to, the score needs to be able to shut on your card. So I want to place it so it's just below the score line so my card will shut properly. Now, if I need to trim a little bit off the back, I might need to, but I would do that once I've stuck everything together. And then I can decide if I really want to, I could cut this down and leave a little border. You just see a little bit more of your workings showing. And I wanted to hide as much as I possibly could. So I will leave it at that at the moment. If I want to trim it down, then I can do. So that's my card blank ready and my panel for inside my card ready. And now I'm going to pop my piece of card. I've got to think which way I've got to do this now. I pop my piece of card into my press. I want, I'll get my big stamp out. Whoops. And I want to be able to get my stamp in the press so that I'm not spoiling my stamp. And I want to make sure that I've got most of my, to about there. So I want to make sure I've got most of the big circle flower. I didn't really have all of that. I went up to about there this time. So I have made this one a little bit smaller and I want to, the one that I've already coloured and cut out, done with it. Oh, it's here. So I need to make sure that it is very similar in size. I don't want one quite a bit bigger than the other. Okay, so that's roughly what I want now. So then I can pick my stamp up. Let's bring this up to the top so you can see. I'm just pushing it down just to make sure it sticks nicely. And then I want to make sure that my mat is back in the right place, that everything is butted up, just in case I need to stamp it again. I am making sure that I use my anti-static bag and give it a really good wipe because I have put my fingers over this piece of card. So then I'm going to put Wow embossing ink on my stamp. Make sure I go past where I want to ink up. I'm sorry, my front door's going. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, ladies. Why, when you've got replacement windows, do they ask you if you would like replacement windows? Okay, so I'm re-inking just in case my ink has dried. Bringing that over, and I'm just going to push down and make sure I get a really nice impression. Now, I do make sure that I really work the stamp into this card, because it's got not a texture, but it's not entirely smooth. So you do want to make sure that you get a good impression. Sorry, I've been put off because my video has stopped. Oh, that's okay. Right, okay. Are you all still there? Can somebody just... Oh, I don't want to carry on if they're not there. Okay, let me just go quickly back over the sentiments. Oh, okay, right. Philippa heard my doorbell, so that must be all right. Okay, lovely. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah, so I'm just working it a little bit, making sure I've got a really nice impression, because the card does have a slight texture. It's not like super smooth or anything. Okay, so let's bring my piece of card and just sprinkle my platinum powder over the top. Give it a good tap. make sure any excess is gone. I know I've got a little bit here. Well, I've probably been touching the card too much. But just use a dry paintbrush and just take a little bit of time. I am going to cut it out, so I don't need to worry too much, but I don't want anything really close. Oh, it's just... And then, right, let's put this away first, as it's my favourite powder. I wish they did a big pot. In fact, they might, and maybe I just don't know about it. But I would definitely, if they do a big pot, I will be getting one. Because it is my favourite. Okay, I'm just going to use my brush and get rid of any powder that I might have left behind. So I can try and end up with a clean card. Oh, okay, so I'm going to put my heat tool onto setting number 2, let it heat up, and then I'll start melting my powder. Thank you, ladies, for telling me you're all still there. I am sorry about my doorbell. I try and arrange all my deliveries and everything around my live so that I don't get any on those days. Obviously it isn't easy, things change and... There we go. I was going to tell him I'm in the middle of a live, but then I thought he wouldn't know what I was talking about. How beautiful does that look? It's just lovely, isn't it? Okay, so now the fun. So now we can colour in. Let's make myself a little bit of room. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of the red. Oh no, I'm not going to use the red this time, am I? I'm sorry. I'm sticking to pink. I'm going to wipe it up because otherwise I'll start using it. I'm sticking to pink, purple and blue because I'm trying to copy these colours. So I don't want red, I want some pink, I want some yellow, I want some blue. I'm going to put the yellow and blue together, then I can mix my green, and then I want some purple as well, and then I can pick my blue up as well from there. I've got a little bit of water left in my brush, I should have enough. I am going to have my cloth here because I want to be able to clean my brush if I need to. So I do need to make sure, in fact I did find that this is really easy. If you use your mister, you can actually just put the nozzle back in the top, and it's a really easy way to fill the water brush up. Just have to forget it goes the wrong way. It's really strange. Okay, so now we can get our water coming through. So I've got that coming through now on my bristles. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to start with my leaves because I do like to do those first. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue, mix in some yellow until I get a green that I'm liking the look of. And I did want it to be quite limey or appley almost, that looks to me. Oh, it's just, honestly, it is so beautiful to paint with. And with the embossing, having that edge to colour up against, I'd forgotten how lovely it is to colour up against the embossed image. But just going straight, I'm going over the top, like with the vein down the middle of my leaf. And even though it's metallic ink, it isn't covering it up. And lots of times you'll find that it will cover it up. The inks that I'm using, Hilary, are the Jamie Rodgers metallic ink pads that I did a little video about, or a week or so, it was before Easter. And you can find it on YouTube if you haven't watched it. But Jamie, whose ink pads they are, has also done videos, and he's far more knowledgeable than I am. So I can highly recommend watching his videos. But we made a lovely card. I was really impressed with them. I went through swatching and just showing some different techniques that you could do with them. Excuse me. So just like when I use distressed oxides, I want to bring in a second layer. So I'm adding a little bit more of the blue this time. And I just want to do one half of the leaf just to give it a slightly different tone. And I just thought it added a little bit of interest. But they are so lovely to colour with, and just really nice that it's metallic-y and pretty rather than it being chalky like the Distress. But you know, they're just another ink pad that you can do beautiful things with. I mean, I am going to show you one thing, Hilary, if you didn't see that video, if I can just grab. So when I swatched, I mean, look at the black, the gold on black. I mean, it is just beautiful. And the silver on the black. So you can make like faux metallic sentiments, which is what I did in the live. We made this card. So I've used I think I actually used the black with this one, but it's come out like gunmetal. I mean, it's just so lovely. And the flowers I just stamped in black over. We made an inky background, but the pearliness in them is just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, go back and check that one out. Definitely. Okay, so I need to clean my green off because I'm done with my green now. Now, when I coloured this one, I made this one pink with little bits of purple. So I'm going to make this one purple with little bits of pink this time because I want to alternate what it looks like. If you find the colour hard to pick up, just squeeze your brush a little bit and it will let out a lot of water. And so you're going to get, it'll be much easier to paint with then. So I'm just going to colour in the middle of my petals where those little 3 dots are to start with. And pick up some more colour if I need to. You'll find that it moves more easily the more water that you put with it as well. So it'll blend. If you're mixing the colours, sometimes you'll find you'll need a little bit more water just to make it move around a little bit. So now I want to come in and I want much paler, so I'm going to put some water down and then just pick up a little bit of the colour because I just want it to have some colour, but I do want it to be paler towards the edge of my petals because that way then I'm going to, when I put the pink on, you're going to see it a lot more. But there's no right or wrong. This is just colour to your heart's content. I mean, and this for me, this is what it's all about. I just love the colouring. So therapeutic. I almost forget that you're here with me. Okay, so we can just have a look. But you can see, I mean, look at the shimmer that you get on them. It's just gorgeous. So then I'll come in with a little bit of, I'm going to put a little bit of water down with my pink. And then I tap a lot of my water off because I don't want my brush to be quite so wet. And then I can come in. You need enough colour. Sometimes you'll find like you lose sort of the strength of the colour. So if you do that, you just need to go back and put more colour, pick up more ink to give yourself a bit stronger colour. But if you wanted to, you can put a little bit of pink over the top so it changes that purple a little bit as well. I do want this to be a bit more purpley than pink though, so I'm actually going to clean my brush off. You might find it stains your brush. I have found that it does stain it a little bit, but once you've got the colour out, even if the bristles are still stained, it's clean and ready to go again, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. So I'm just going around with some purple and trying to fill in those double line, in between the double lines that I've got with a bit more purple. Just because I did want this to be more purpley than pink. So it was different when we put the flowers on the card. Okay, the thing I didn't do first of all, which I normally do, is pick up a bit of yellow, and I did all the centres of all the flowers with yellow. You don't have to do that, of course. And then it's just a case of, so this flower is purple and blue, so I think I'll make this pink. This one can be a bit more pinky because this is definitely more purple. So let's make this one a bit pinky. And if you find that you've got some of the other colour, like if I've got any of the purple left on my brush, it would affect the colour. So you do need to make sure, if you want, you know, like different tones, do clean your brush. So I'm actually just going to use what's left on my brush and drag out any that's on the rest of the petal, just so you've got that little bit of soft pink, and it's looking different as well. That's the thing. Okay, so then this little flower here needs to be blue, or I think it does. Just have a little bit of water. With the metallic inks, when you squidge them, you do want to give them a little twist like we do with the oxides, because the pigment ink and metallic ink need to like almost not mix together, but almost mix together. So let's have this one as a bit of blue in the middle. This will be our blue flower. Yes, I do find it better if I give it a little bit of a twist. And then I think I'm going to have a bit of purple actually come out the ends. Just so nice. And you can go over the top of your purple and you'll get like a different tone again where it's mixing with the blue. Oh, I'm quite liking that stronger. Oh, lovely. And then this one can have a bit of all the colours. We could go around the edge of these ones with pink. Let's clean our brush. Come in and let's do these bits pink. I hope you're all right. I will read the messages afterwards. I shall go and have a nice cup of coffee and read all your messages, but I do know that there's plenty of the design team watching that I'm sure if there's any questions they'll answer them. So a little bit more yellow, and I'm going to do these flowers down here yellow. Don't know if I did that on the other one. No, I didn't. I'll tell you what I'll do. I missed that flower and I missed that little bit. I won't see it actually because it's going to be folded back. I've just realised, but we'll do them. Okay, so now we've got one flower left. I think we could probably still do it with a bit of blue actually. Let's and instead of maybe, let's make it darker around the edge. So if we paint that bit around the edge first really, and then just blend in the colour, we can come back and give it another extra bit if we need to. But I have just so enjoyed colouring with these. Okay, so let's come in with a little bit more so we can deepen that colour around the edge of the petal by all the little embossed dots. I'll bring this up in a minute and show you as well, so you've got a much... Actually, I forget about that. Like Philippa brings the picture in, doesn't she? Let's do that. Look, why don't I remember? Hazel does it as well. There we go, so you can see a bit better for the colouring, can't you? Oh, but how pretty is it? Honestly, I can't stress enough, with the embossing, it is absolutely beautiful. Now let's have a purple one. Oh, I'm forgetting to talk. I'm getting carried away. Sorry. I'm just, you know, you get lost in it. It's lovely. Okay, so I think that's going to work. We've used the same colours. We've got slightly different flowers in the colouring. Obviously the same flowers. Okay, so I can probably lift this up a little bit. Don't need to bring it away too far away. So then I need my scissors. Now, if I was doing this and not worrying, I would leave this to dry a little bit. But I'm going to cut it roughly, as I always do. Yeah, because I'm going to get it on my fingers and then I'm going to smudge it. So yes, so leave this to dry. Just, it'll dry really quick, especially in this heat. But it will dry really quickly. It won't take long. You could give it a blast, but obviously you need to be a little bit careful of your embossing. You don't want to heat that too much again. So then I'm just going to cut round, leave a little border of the cream card. I think you could probably do this on Super Smooth as well, because I have coloured on Super Smooth before and it was absolutely fine because you're not using a lot of water. I just fancied, I really love this card, and I actually really like that it's got a little bit of detail on it as well. Okay, it's got that slight texture to it. And it's still, I mean, it's stamped this out absolutely beautifully. But I would just, if you are going to emboss, just work that stamp into the, or the ink into the card a little bit more than you would normally if you're just doing a black impression. So I am trying to keep my scissors fairly still and move my paper, because I find you get much nicer, smoother movements. I always find it really weird because I'm left-handed, but I cut with my right hand. Very strange. I'm a strange person, I know. Okay, so this bit of ink I've got left on here, if I spritz this with water, the yellow is going to spoil everything. So I think I might just actually wipe the yellow up. And then I might spritz with what's left. Let's get a bit of water on there because that will still turn it green. Okay, well, I don't know if it's going to work, but it's worth trying. So I've got, put some water down and let's just pick it. This is just Super Smooth now. Can you see that? Sorry, I realised I've, oh, it's very pale. The pink might be all right. But it'll just be so pretty. Okay, let me just move these bits out of the way because I don't want to get them done. Let's just give this a blast. Like, rather than losing the ink that's down there, we will have a lovely, soft, delicate background for something else. I can pick up some of this ink. Right, and then I'll come back in. I have to be careful where the inks have mixed. Yeah, if you just tap like really gently, you're going to get all those little dots. Oh, it's just, honest, it's bad. No problem, Ruth. Thank you for joining us and have a lovely day. And enjoy your catch-up. Oh, how funny, Caroline. I am exactly the same. Yes, I crochet right-handed as well. How funny. So it's more than one strange person then. Okay, so I'm going to mop this up now because that's about as much ink as I've got left on there. So I haven't wasted that ink, but just, it is such a pretty background. Honestly, you'll have so much fun with these. And it's metallic-y and yeah, just beautiful. You could do this onto black card as well. It does, you would lose some of the colour because of how diluted it is. But if you use them straight out of the spritzers, like by using some of the re-inkers and some water to make a spritzer. On the black it just looks amazing. So I'll put that to one side and keep that for another day. So I have my card piece, and I have my card that's going inside, and I have my card front. So these bits are going to come around the front of my card, and my leaves will still touch, so that's fab. Okay, I want to put a message at the bottom. So like I did on here, I used my big happy birthday out of my, what set is this? Bear with me. Out of my Blossoms and Blooms. So I used the happy birthday, and then inside I used enjoy your special day, special friend. But you could put, the happy birthday doesn't need to be seen here. You could do it up a bit higher and have it that she has to open the card to see the message. I think I might do it that way this time. Yeah, I will. So we'll change it up. It's always nice to change things up. Right, let's put my pussycat. It's not a pussycat, but I always call it the pussycat stamp now. It wasn't intentional, but it just does look like a cat. Philippa was right. Okay, so let's put my card blank in my press. And I am going to centre it this time. I might actually put happy birthday special friend, and then enjoy your special day can be inside. Aren't we funny? I don't eat left-handed. It's very strange. I iron with my right hand, but I write with my left. Yeah, weird. Okay, so let's pick that up. And then make sure, whoops, make sure I wipe with my anti-static bag well, because I have touched the card again. Again, using my Wow embossing pad to ink up my stamps. Make sure I've got a nice, this is a nice new pad. Make sure you've got a good coverage on it. And then just work that into the front of your card. I'm going to do each bit of embossing separately, just because it's quite warm today. I'm sure it would stay wet long enough, but I don't have a lot of room and I don't want to mess it up. And the camera's quite low now. I can lift it up, obviously, but I might need to bring it up just a little bit, sorry. Right, so sprinkle my my powder over the happy birthday and special friend. Good tap. Make sure we've got no stray bits. I won't pop that away just yet because I am going to do some more. But I will bring my heat tool in, heat it up, and then melt my powder. I don't really want to bring it to my card until it is heated up, because that way the embossing powder will melt more quickly and it has less chance of buckling my card. Work systematically over the sentiment so you make sure that you've covered everything. Now, I do find that my cards get quite buckled when I heat emboss them, so a good idea is if you just use a little bit of heat on the back, sometimes that can help just to smooth everything out again. And it does make it like lay down a bit better. Also, what I would do with this now is I would put this under my my plate on my die cutting machine, and then just place my die cutting machine on the top of it and allow my card to cool down. In fact, I'll do that. And then while that's cooling down, I can be doing the piece that's going to go inside my card. So for this one, I want enjoy your special day. So let's put special friend back and happy birthday and enjoy your special day. And let's bring my press back in, pop that in the middle. Again, use my anti-static bag. Now I'm going to place this in the middle because I am going to do the flowers top and bottom again, because I did this first and then I thought, oh, I just like a little bit of flowers top and bottom. So I'll pick that up and use my embossing ink pad again. And then just work that into the card, making sure just giving it a little bit of extra time for that ink to transfer. I'm not pushing hard, I'm still being quite fairy fingers, but just making sure I've worked all over the design so that I know I get a nice imprint of it then. So then we'll do our enjoy your special day. Oh, we need to bring in my dry paintbrush because I've made a bit of a mess of that, even though I wiped it with my anti-static bag. Sometimes you can be really quite brutal with hitting the tapping the card, and any loose stray bits will just fall off then. Sorry, I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Okay, so let's heat this up first of all, and then we'll do our flowers in each corner. Okay, so I'm going to turn my oh my goodness, my stamping press round. I'm going to pop that away, and I'm going to get my Pussycat stamp back out, and I only want a little bit in the corner. So what I did was I actually brought my card way down so that I'll probably be able to do it like that actually. That should be fine. So even though it's just going to be caught on the top there, it should be okay to get an imprint from it. So let's wipe again and just let's have a look again where I need to go to. So okay. It's always better to ink too much of the stamp than not enough, obviously. I think we should be okay. So I am having to push a little bit harder now because I've got my stamp caught in the top of my press here. So I do want to make sure I get a good impression. And we'll do this bit first and then we'll whiz it round. And because it's hanging out of the stamping press so much, I am actually going to heat it. Normally I would do one corner and then the other, but because if I push this here, I'm going to be coming down on top of the embossing that won't have been heated. So do one corner at a time, but do make sure that you give it a good clean up before you go. You could just do one corner if you want. You don't have to do two corners. I suppose it would give you a bit more room to write. Oh, just how lovely. It does look really nice when you follow through the pattern that you've used on the outside, doesn't it, to the inside. Just love it. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back in. And again, just wipe with my anti-static bag. Try not to get any powder to stick. Let's just ink my stamp. Let's see how much is going to come out. Yep, that's fine. It's not all of it. probably got a different part, or not as much. Yeah, no, not as much, so that's fine. Just depends where you put your card back in, really. Okay, so now I can pop my powder on. Oh, I didn't quite stamp firm enough in the corner. I've missed a little bit here, but it'll be fine. Only I'll know that. Let's take this, well, you would as well. The only other thing I could do is use my embossing pen to fill it in, but that might be a little bit thick in relation to the thickness of my drawn flowers. Let's get as much as that off. Pop my bit of card back in, put my lid on my embossing powder so I don't lose it. Get rid of any powder, and then let's heat this corner. If I wanted to colour these, obviously that would help disguise. In fact, I will. We'll colour these. Oh, I've just rubbed it all off, haven't I? Never mind. I don't know. I quite liked it just spritzed. What do we think? Maybe we'll spritz the front. Oh, I've missed a bit completely. I can just see it. That was a bit of luck. Yes, always check that you have actually melted all the powder, because I normally go like that and touch it. No, I'm going to splatter it because I think it looks really pretty. So, let me grab my card and my inside piece, and I think, looking at the colourways, I think I'm going to make it blue this time. Or should I do, no, I'm going to do purple. I do purple. So I put a little bit of purple ink on my mat, and I make it quite nice and watery. And then I spray my brush just with water, just to make that wet. And then I can pick up my pearly colour. And this is going to be quite splatty because I can feel the droplets of water in it. And I can try and aim like just through the centre, so I'm not really getting any on my flowers. Like, I try to go around. Oh, I just think it's so nice, though. I would splatter it everywhere. When I did watch a little bit of Hazel's, I just caught the end, I think we've been out, her live, and she was like, right, who's up for painting their walls black and splattering it with Jamie's ink pads? And it was like, oh yes, that would just look lovely. Okay, so now I need to let this dry, or heat it to dry it. So I'm going to heat it to dry it, but I need to keep my heat tool a little bit away from the embossing. I don't want it to try and heat that up too much. But once I've got most of it dry, with the back a little glass, I can always go over with a bit of kitchen roll. I won't do it with my cloth because it'll be filthy, but I do need to make sure I wipe that up first. I don't want it on the back of my card. So where the water droplets are quite wet, you will need to do this. You will need to give it a bit of a dry. Or, like I say, the other thing that I noticed that Tracy and Hazel always do is they always have a bit of kitchen roll just to mop up any extra bits, because you don't want to smudge all that beautiful work that you've done. And it lifts it. Oh, it's just gorgeous, all that metallic. Lovely. So I'll just do this piece as well. Okay, so we're ready to put our card together. So I need my scoreboard. And I did wipe that, didn't I? Yes. Okay, so let's get my tool off. And I put this in. I actually turned it over so I couldn't see, because otherwise I don't want to do that line through there. I just made it 1 centimetre so that it was enough tucked in, and I also wanted it creased on the back so that the mounting fold is on the front, and then when I fold this back it just creased nicely. So onto the back, score at 1 centimetre, go down a couple of times because obviously it's a thick card and also you're getting through the embossing as well. And then I can fold this over. If you want to, you can run down with your tool, but I think that might have been what picked it up and marked my card. Maybe you should turn it over because I'm not worried about the back. So if you do want to flatten it, turn it over because it is marking it. So I've picked up some of the embossing. So always make sure you turn it over because then it doesn't matter. This bit isn't going to be seen, but we do want a nice flat edge. But yeah, watch your tool. Not sure that'll come off. Oh, it is. Yeah, I might need a bit of a scrub for that. Okay. So now, bit of glue, and we're there. So we can open this up, and on one side I want one piece, and I'm going to turn it up so I've got flowers in opposite corners because I wanted it to be different. So I'm going to put some glue all on the embossed little flap that we've just flattened out, and then I will open it back out because I want to put this down, and I want to make sure that that embossed line is just the other side of the edge of my card, so that when I bring this piece of card down, it's got somewhere to wrap around. If you put it too far in, it won't wrap round nicely. So you want your embossed line just on the edge of your card. And then I did use, let me get my other bone folder because I put that away now. So I did use another bone folder just to flatten this down, really make that stick because it's trying to stick through the embossing and everything as well. So again, some glue on that little flap, and then I opened that back out, and I have got that up the other way, yes. And then I look across and I try and line it up for about the same, top and bottom. Might need to come up slightly. And then I shut my card and bring this one in and bring this one in. So I just make sure it's about in line. No, this one needs to come up a little bit. So before that's stuck down, I can bring this up a little bit. Don't go mad with it. Let's try it again. That's better. My leaves are matching a bit better now. Okay. So then open this up and just run a bone folder over that edge just to help that glue really make a bond. Okay. Now I did notice I've got a bit of pink. And I don't really want that on there. I wonder if I can get that off. Yes, good. My magic rubber. Where would I be without it? If you don't have a mono sand eraser, treat yourself. Okay, so let me put some glue all around the edge. And then we can put our centre in our card. So this is what's going to cover up all your joins. So now you're not going to see them. You do need to make sure that this is just below that embossed line. So again, your card can shut properly. And I just did it with, it's ever so slightly got a border. It's either one side or the other. That's better. Right, so then I can firm this down. Can always put a bit of card over the top if you're worried about smudging anything. I really like those purple splats. Okay, then if you turn this over and you've got a little bit of card, I did on my first one, I had a little bit overhanging. So I just used my craft knife and cut that off, but it's absolutely perfect this time. It's fab. Obviously you get better as you make the next ones. Okay, and then I would just entwine my leaves a little bit. But so this one, you open it up and you see that wording inside with your splats. And then obviously you've got that lovely bit inside. For the numbers on my card, I wiped my embossing ink pad over a piece of card and then die cut my sweet pea numbers, but I did die cut it with 2 other normal pieces, so it's 3 numbers thick, and it just gives it some real dimension and really makes that number pop off the card. So I'm not going to put a number on this one because that's the one I need for my special friend. And then this one could be a happy birthday card that I add a number to, or a name. We could have a name going across the front. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I can highly recommend those beautiful ink pads. Let me just flip the camera. I do like to say goodbye. Oh, just wheeled my chair into my guillotine. Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you'll give it a go. I really can recommend Jamie's ink pads for inky backgrounds. Beautiful for splatting. I mean, that purple just looks gorgeous. Really are metallic. Oh, it's just beautiful. Yes, I can highly recommend Jamie's ink pads, and I just think it's a great way to use just a little part of that big stamp. You know, who would know that that was a great big stamp? Just a really nice way to use it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I love the bit inside with just a little bit, sorry. Yes, I hope you've enjoyed that. Have a lovely day, enjoy this beautiful weather, make sure you get out in it, and yeah, I will see you again soon. I'm trying to think what's next on the lives. Philippa's my lady for that. She's my brain. What would I be without Philippa? I would have no brain at all. I haven't, oh, and she's going to tell me it's Thursday as well, and I have to tell her what I'm doing next week. Oh gosh, right, okay. I'm going back now to sorting out some designs for something new. Okay, have a lovely day, everybody, and I will see you again next week sometime, but we will let you know. Okay, take care. Bye. Enjoy the bank holiday too. Bye.